Alright, you short kings out there, lock in. And check this out. I recently looked up how tall you gotta be considered a giant in this day and age. And apparently you only need to be over 7 feet tall. My brothers, compared to mythical giants, that's not that big. And the death by scrutiny is real. I know a short king somewhere already dived into that, cause why not? What's stopping you, other woman? I know a lot of women in the world are just like, oh, you gotta be 6 feet and above to date me, ugh. Period, ugh. A giant woman, or a woman over 7 feet tall cannot say that. Well, she can, but it's not like there's a lot of guys out there that's over 7 feet tall. And to be real, there's not a lot of women that are that tall either. So either she can be prepared to be claimed and dominated by the short king, or she may have to die alone. I know, that would be tragic. But it really doesn't have to be, because we all love big women. In all my years of living, I never met a man that cared about how tall or short a woman was. That trait's more like a female-only type thing. And if men can climb Mount Everest, they can climb with that ass. All depends on how badly they want it. And trust me, if you played Resident Evil Village, you know men and some women love tall women. To this day, there's still clips of people online running away from Lady Dimitrescu and having the time of their lives because low-key she is a baddie. And she's tall enough to be considered a giant woman, standing at 9 feet 6 inches tall. Even though she is wearing heels, I'm not sure that adds into the height. But either way, it doesn't really matter because she's still tall as hell. This woman had gamers everywhere down bad. I still remember all the mods. Check this out.
Chad, stop looking at her chest. I know what I don't know why she rushing in on me like that.
Don't waste my time.
Oh shit.
This guy thought he could just spank Lady Dimitrescu and live to tell the tale.
I came looking for booty.
Don't waste my time.
Yeah, we were all down bad. Now obviously a con for her would be that she's a giant vampire woman with giant claws and a very ugly second form. But I mean, who am I kidding? Most of you watching probably pay $40 and above just to be chased around the mansion by that woman. So I know, you do not give a damn about those cons. And neither do I, cause I did the same thing. Ha! Giggity. Now Lady Dimitrescu is tall, but a giant woman would be even taller than she is. There's levels to this shit. So now it's time to ask the important question. How tall is the fictional giant waifu? Normal giants in Greek mythology were said to be 400 to 1,000 feet tall. Now, a lot like Lady Dimitrescu, giants do eat people. I'm pretty sure the reason she eats people is a lot different from theirs. You know, because she's a vampire and all, and vampires suck blood. But real talk though, gotta wonder what else they like to suck. Ha! Giggity. Now, there are plenty of giant women in mythology, with a lot of them being seen as goddesses. In Norse mythology, Jord, the mother of Thor, was supposed to be a giantess and a goddess. From what I've read, she was said to be the goddess of the earth. However, for most of the Norse goddesses that I looked up, I couldn't find any of their heights. But I did see that a lot of the giants were above human height, and a lot of them were even taller than the gods. But now the frost giants were at least 30 feet tall. So your guess is as good as mine as to how tall Jord was. But you get the idea. Giants, just like dragons, come from all sorts of myth and folklore. So it's not really hard to figure out where the giant waifu idea came from. But is it wise to smash? A god can obviously smash a giant, but what about the average Joe? Now if we're talking about realistic tall women, then of course. But in fiction, the giant may be the one smashing you. But low-key, that's not always a bad thing. Now one of the main powers of a giant is that they're huge. They are always depicted as way bigger than humans are. But there are some giants in myth that have immortality. There are giants that can transform into animals. And there are even giants with multiple heads. Oh my. Grief for the price of one big one. Can you handle it? The right answer is no. Unless you can shrink in some ways like Mount Lady, you are screwed. The biggest con about a giant waifu is that the weight will literally be just too much for some people. It's just too much poom poom at one time. And even if you change positions, you more than likely wouldn't be big enough for. But then again, this will only be if the character can't shrink or isn't a suitable size for you. If the waifu is 9 foot 6 inches like Lady Dimitrescu, it should in theory still work. If your package size is around 5 to 6 inches, that should be enough to satisfy her. The average man package should be around 5 to 6 inches. Unless she does adult films, that should be enough for her. Now we all know Mount Lady can change her height. But what about characters like Diane from the anime 7 Deadly Sins? From what I've learned, she can't change her height through a magical means. So her human height is 5'5", but her giant height is 30 feet tall. Apparently she's not too tall for King though. Her husband King in his fairy form is around 5'3", and he does have a human form that makes him 5'11". Now these two by the end of the series got married
And got busy!
Yeah, King won the lottery. Now I don't know if he used magic to do it, but you know, I mean, Diane is thick. And it looks like they had at least 7 kids, so yeah. I'm just gonna say it, bro must have dived in the hole and didn't come out for hours. I mean, I can't blame him when this is what he's working with. And I mean, seriously, god damn, bruh is legendary. I mean, I can understand why they call bruh King. I'm not gonna lie, this is making me rethink all my cons. Jesus Christ, the animes went crazy with this scene. And on the low too, this ain't no action scene. Now, side note real quick, There were a couple other people in the comments saying that my thumbnails were clickbait. For all who don't know, this is the definition of clickbait. My thumbnails are meant to represent something I'm talking about in the video. And most of my newer videos do relate to different types of waifus. So I'm not really sure what the confusion is. I thought it was being pretty straightforward what the videos were supposed to be about. So yeah, if you feel clickbaited when you click on this video, that's not my intention. Now, there are a lot of giant waifus in fiction that I could talk about, but unfortunately, a lot of them have more pros than cons. And even if they do have cons, their pros heavily outweigh the cons. For instance, Giganta from DC Universe. Just like Mount Lady, she can shrink and get big. However, Giganta's strength should increase with her proportion size, basically meaning the bigger she gets, the stronger she gets. And as you've probably seen in DC, she can fight people like Superman and Wonder Woman. Now when hearing this, I wasn't thinking about the size at all, I was thinking about the strength. I never seen Giganta or Mount Lady use super strength in their normal human form. However, Diane, which is honestly closer to being an actual fictional giant in comparison to the other two, does still seem to have super strength and powers while she's in her human form, as shown here.
What do you think of the most powerful storm I can make?
If one of her feet leaves the ground, it's all over.
Heavy metal!
Yeah, so that guy should have died from that. Anyway, my point is, in normal human form, Mount Lady and Giganta have no cons. Or at least they don't have any that'll make them unsmashable. Now I suppose Diane's super strength wouldn't be a really big con unless she was a top. If you don't know what I mean by top, you need to get out more. Because once she starts moving in any form she's in, you're screwed. But at the very least you can say you died by Snoo Snoo. That's an accomplishment we can all get behind. Now I know this quickly that there are more pros than there are cons with giant waifus. So a lot of the characters you're thinking about, I can't really mention because they're low-key just too smashable. So I really had to brainstorm about who else I was going to mention in this video. And it had to be a giant waifu with cons that clearly outweigh the pros. And then it hit me. One Piece. One Piece has some of the biggest characters I've seen in anime. Body proportions in this anime literally be all over the place. Now surprisingly, Big Mom in the anime is considered a giant, even though she's 29 feet tall. Apparently giants in One Piece have to be at least 12 meters tall. And Charlotte Lin, aka Big Mom, is 8.8 meters tall. But I mean, I have to say, this logic is stupid. I mean, look how big she is compared to all the other characters. There's only one other female that's taller than her in the whole series, and that's the mermaid princess, Shirahoshi. Now Shirahoshi is 38 feet 11 inches tall. And I really want to include her in this list, but she is a mermaid, not technically a giant, at least in the world of One Piece. And I mean, in real world logic, she'll qualify for both giant and mermaid. But anyway, to get to my main point, Big Mom has a lot of cons, but goddamn, one of them isn't that she's bad in the bedroom, because she has 85 children, and she had 43 husbands. Woman was low-key drawing it back. I mean, screw smashing for a second, is it still usable down there? Because that is insane. Now I know what you're thinking, there's no way that you, a searcher of bad bitches, would smash Big Mom. But can you say that after seeing this?
Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick ass boy. Damn.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, she got 43 guys to smash. And not only smash, but I believe they were married for a time. How many women can say they got 43 husbands? Anyway, I'm getting off topic. The cons. You know what? Screw it, there's no cons. I mean, you can say Big Mom's ugly in her older form, but I mean, I really mean, nah, I'm diving in. I'm not even thirsty like that, I'm just curious. My brothers, 43 husbands. 43 husbands! Low-key, I have to say, the giant waifu must be really good at Snoo Snoo. And I mean, you can't really count Mountain Lady or Giganta as a normal giant waifu, but they are still giant waifus. But Big Mom and Diane are a lot closer to what the fictional version or the, mythology version of these waifus were. And Diane has 7 kids. You know what? Fuck it. No cons for this video. Fuck all the cons I said before. And I know giants can eat you, but oh shit. Yeah, I said what I said. They're worth it. If Odin, the main god of Norse mythology, can smash a goddess like Jord, then that Pum Pum must be worth it. Now, which waifu do you think should do next?